Susato-san.
Standing here in the bright sunshine, looking out over the vast ocean. Those days in London seem like a dream. But I do miss my time in England's vast capital. You know, he's flourished into a truly wonderful lawyer. I've no doubt that at this very moment, he's fighting some noble cause in court. Forgive me for taking so long to come to visit you. My life has been such a whirlwind since I returned. And no one could have predicted what has happened. Just 2 months after arriving home. So I came here today to ask something of you. Tomorrow, I shall be standing in court. For the only time in my life. As a lawyer.
The Phantom Woman. Is that...
So please, I ask for your guidance. Kazuma-sama.
Wait, are we playing Susato-san? Here I am again after 9 months, the Supreme Court of Judicature of Japan. I mean, in the previous game, Susato-san wasn't even allowed in court to speak. I feel so nervous, but I must steel my nerves and find a way to compose myself. So this means Japan has progressed somewhat, I guess. Father!
Ah, good, you're here. It doesn't do for a lawyer to be late.
Are you well? What about your illness? Is it... Oh, are you well? Oh, yes, good morning, sir. Wait, am I calling my father sir?
I hardly recognize you. You kind of fine figure, counsel. But you look as white as a sheet, and those white eyes aren't doing you any favors either.
Oh dear. The truth is, I'm so incredibly nervous, I feel utterly nauseated. I almost wish that I'd never been born. Don't say that.
Goodness, not the sort of thing a father hopes to hear from his daughter, I must say.
Eugene Mikotoba, professor of medicine at the Imperial Yume University. A man who, earlier in his life, traveled to Great Britain to study the latest advances in forensic medical science. And of course, my brilliant father... excuse me... Oh. Would I be correct in thinking that you're to be my lawyer in court today? Yes, that's right, miss. Well, I want to thank you for agreeing to represent me. I swear on my life. It's a complete fabrication, this whole thing! Rei Membami, born the same year as I and my greatest friend. Though unusual for a woman in our time, she works at the university research laboratory helping my father. And sadly, she's the defendant in today's trial. My best friend? Accused of committing a truly awful murder. Oh, the Phantom Lady! She's from Great Britain after all. This is surely an international incident or something. Are you feeling alright? Since we started talking, you seem, well, to have become a little flushed. Oh my, it's just that... You look so gallant and dashing! Sorry? And when I fall under your intense gaze, it makes me feel rather bashful. Someone has a crush on me. Oh goodness, I don't think she knows. She hasn't realized who I am. Wait, what? She's my best friend. What do you mean? It would seem our little plan for this trial is going to work. What do you mean, Professor Mikotoba? If even your best friend can't see through the disguise, I think we can relax. Disguise? Yes, I've never tried dressing this way before, of course, so I wasn't sure how convincing it would be. But this does make me feel a little relieved, as you say, Father. Father? Wait, my best friend does not realize Professor Mikotoba is my father? That I have the same surname as Professor Mikotoba? What sort of a best friend are you? What? Is that you, Susato? Wait. Okay, now I get it. She didn't even realize I was Susato. I'm so sorry I didn't say something sooner, Ray. It's just that— No! What are you doing? What's going on? What? That varsity uniform, that varsity cap, that varsity cape, that varsity badge. Oh god. Look at you, you look for all the world just like a student of the Imperial Yume University. A male student. Oh, I'm so glad you think so. Wait, I'm impersonating a male student? Uh-oh. It means all my preparations have been worthwhile. I woke at 4 this morning to make a start. But I don't understand. Why are you dressed like that? Well, you see...
It was the only way. The only way she would be permitted into the Supreme Court to take on your defense in this trial.
My defense? Never before in my life have I felt so frustrated at having been born into this body. Courts in Japan are barred to women. We're not even allowed to set foot inside the courtroom. Despite the fact that the laws of the land apply to all people, male and female alike. But women are forbidden! Just for today, I'll be leaving my true self at the courtroom door, so that I can act as your lawyer. Oh, Susato, you'd go to such lengths for me? Of course, you're my greatest friend. I just worry that I shan't be the lawyer you deserve. Oh no, I have complete faith in you. Rei. It's so strange though. I mean, you're such an accomplished judicial assistant already, and yet just because you're a woman... What a wretched reason! I mean, why shouldn't you be allowed in court? You're so gallant and dashing! Ray, please don't look at me like that, with those flushed cheeks and doting eyes. Oh, I'm sorry, it's just, you really do look so dashing. Yes, you mentioned that once or twice. Oh my god, I shipped them so hard. Wow, don't be pleased, it means you look convincing as a man. Come on, father. No, don't do that. I am pleased. I think it certainly helped bolster my confidence lately. Today? Come on. Bi people exist. Rei, you're managing to put on a brave face in all this, but I can see through it. I've noticed how your shoulders are slumped and how you're trembling ever so slightly. Susato, you do believe me, don't you? I didn't do it. I couldn't have. I mean, murder. Of course. You have nothing to worry about. Your conscience is perfectly clean. Isn't that right? Yes, it is. Perfectly clean. I have absolutely no doubt in my mind about your innocence, which is why I'll stand by you until the bitter end in this trial. Whatever happens, I'll always be on your side. Because that's what it means to be a defense lawyer. That means so much to me, Susato.
Defendant counsel, court is about to begin. Proceed. You should go in at once, Ray. If you're late, the judge won't hesitate to pronounce you guilty.
Wait, who's gonna be my assistant? Stand aside! I don't think I've ever seen her run so fast.
Well, Susato, you've certainly surprised your father, going to such lengths to be admitted into the courtroom and with no prior experience of being a lawyer.
There was simply no other way, that's all there is to it. But father, you haven't told her, have you? I mean, I'm right in assuming that Ray doesn't know how it came to this. How it came to this?
Yes, quite right. I've kept that information from her. It would only worry her if we found out that no other lawyer would agree to take her case.
Oh.
I didn't want to burden her with that.
And is it true, the reason why every other lawyer is refusing to take the case? Is it really because of who the victim was?
We should be making a move now too. As you know, law isn't my field, but I'll do what I can to support my student.
Thank you, father. I'm Susato Mikotoba, a judicial assistant. 8 months ago, I accompanied a student of law on a study trip to Great Britain. But 2 months ago, due to unforeseen circumstances, I found myself back in Japan. How many times have I wished that you were here, I wonder? Still, I have no choice now but to steel myself for the trial ahead. Wish me luck, Naruhodo-san.
This court is now in session to hear the trial of Ray Membami.
The prosecution is fully ready to proceed, Your Excellency. Oh my god. Your hair! Why didn't you fix your hair after the first game? Wow, I really do look dashing.
Defense counsel, are you ready? Yes, Your Excellency, we are ready.
Ready?
Oh yes, counsel. According to your registration details, your name is, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, is that correct?
What? Why did I take Naruhodo as my surname? What? Sorry? Sorry?
Oh yes, I had to come up with a suitable male name for you for this little venture. I'm afraid to say I simply put down the first name that sprung to mind. Well, counsel?
Yes, that's right, it's me. Yes, I am Ryutaro, he who has vowed to uphold the pride of the great Naruhodo clan.
Shimshu Charo may need to reconsider how better to uphold his manly act first and not overdo it. And those wild white eyes aren't doing you any favors either. Just relax and listen.
She's just like Naruhodo. She's just like Ryunosuke. Naruhodo? A fresh face in this courtroom, if I'm not mistaken. By the name Naruhodo, would that perchance be...
maybe thinking of Ryunosuke Naruhodo, currently in Britain as part of a study program. This is,
His cousin? My label on the bottom I changed to Ryutaro.
That's right, Ryutaro here has been studying in the provinces but was called to the capital for this trial. I assure you, in matters of law, his knowledge rivals that of any of Tokyo's preeminent lawyers.
I do not even have a lawyer armband, do I? Any of them?
What a pitiful situation. Having been rejected by every lawyer in the capital, the accused has had to call in a country boy.
Oh. Now she knows.
How dare you! Sato is every bit as gallant and dashing as any of your Tokyo attorneys.
Don't call me by my real name.
I won't have you making fun of her.
Huh?
Oh,
Please be careful, Ray. Oh! His pen says, what does it say? Oh, what's it called in English? Punishment.
What an unrefined tomboy we have here. But I wonder, is your gallant and dashing lawyer up to the challenge of defending you?
Genius punishment.
His wide, skittish eyes very much suggest that he is not.
I'm so nervous. Now that I'm standing in his shoes, I'm starting to understand what Naruhodo-san goes through. Like it or not, eyes are wont to flit.
The case to be heard on this day is a matter of great significance to our national interests. In fact, it would be reasonable to assume that the outcome of this trial may well affect the very future of our empire.
Just like the trial 9 months ago, and yet for proceedings of such importance, we have this unknown yokel by the dock, dear me.
Perhaps this would be an appropriate moment for me to assess the defense, to determine whether you are sufficiently competent to practice in this courtroom. 9 months ago, when a certain other Naruhodo stood where you're standing now, this same judge tested him as well. And even though he was just a student at the time, not even of law, he passed the test with flying colors.
That's right, Ryunosuke wasn't a lawyer back then, either.
For a trained and experienced judicial assistant like you, this will be easy. So, counsel, do you consent to answering some simple questions?
Alright, it's time to prove myself.
Slap!
Yes, Your Excellency, but please do make them simple.
Very well, to start with, you will state the name of the victim.
Phew, that is simple. I couldn't forget that if I tried. Ah.
What's the matter?
Now that I'm standing in his shoes, I'm starting to understand something else Naruhodo-san goes through. Like it or not, minds are wont to blank.
It's not surprising, really. It's your first time. And in that guise. Even a bright spark like you is bound to flicker and falter.
Oh dear, this is a dismal failure.
Don't fret, you need only to use the knowledge you've gained as a judicial assistant to overcome your problem.
Of course, the court record. Yes, the answer would be amongst all the key information about the case in the court record.
That's right.
Yeah, I know that. It's okay.
And don't take too long over it. His Excellency is watching you closely.
Alright, check the court record. That's where the information is.
I'm waiting, counsel. What is the name of the victim?
Giselle Brett, I believe, but let's check the court record. Giselle Brett, female, British, time of death 11th August at around 2 p.m. ascertained by examination and witness statement, so it's not a real autopsy. Cause of death, single deep stab wound from behind, piercing a lung and resulting in a fatal hemorrhage. Death would have occurred within minutes. Extreme meiosis, pupil constriction, was observed in the victim in both eyes. Pupil constriction? What can cause pupil constriction, I wonder? Like fear, maybe? The name of the victim who lost her life in this case is Miss Giselle Brett. Giselle Brett!
A name that would never be forgotten in the courtrooms of our country, I'm sure. Correct. And being a member of our empire's judiciary, you will be well aware of the significance of that name. So, let me pose another simple question. As you know, Miss Brad was a visiting student from the Empire of Great Britain. Why then is her name indelibly associated with our own empire's judicial history? Obviously, you won't have forgotten the case from 9 months ago, but if it's proving too hard to recall the finer points, everything you need is included in the court record.
Obviously, I still remember. That was the start of everything. Giselle Brett, behind the woman's student persona, was the face of a killer, right? She was found guilty of the murder of visiting professor Dr. Wilson. Oh, your portrait changed. Taketsuchi Aochi.
Yes!
9 months ago, a visiting professor of medicine at the Imperial Yume University was killed, and the culprit was Giselle Brett.
Yeah, she was a killer. At the time, our country had just signed a new treaty with the Empire of Great Britain, and it was in the midst of this delicate diplomatic situation that the incident occurred. An Englishman, Dr. John H. Wilson, was shot dead. I believe he was an associate of yours.
Who's speaking?
Wait, I believe he was an associate of yours, Professor Mikotoba. Yes, I was indebted to the man. He'd been my mentor when I went to London to study forensic medicine. Indeed, it was I who invited him here to Japan as a visiting professor. Naturally, the murder of an Englishman on our soil was a matter the government wished to resolve rapidly. Indeed it was, which is why a secret trial was conducted here. A student of the Imperial Yume University was arrested on suspicion of murder, a second-year English language student by the name of Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Oh, Ryunosuke studied English. Huh.
With the help of his best friend, a student lawyer, the accused conducted his own defense and exposed the despicable crime committed by Miss Giselle Brett. Miss Brett eventually admitted to her crime. However, when questioned about the motive that drove her to take Dr. Wilson's life, she gave no satisfactory answer before the trial reached its conclusion.
Immediately after the trial, the British government brought its consular jurisdiction into play. We were unable to sentence Miss Brett according to our empire's laws. It was decided that she would be removed to Shanghai, China, instead.
Well, to be fair, she killed an Englishman. She is an English woman. So... why Shanghai?
There's a British consular court there. Correct, I oversaw the negotiations personally. The date of her transfer to Shanghai was finally settled upon only last week. All that remained of our empire's obligations was to see the woman safely on board a steamship.
And yeah, the very day before her departure, the Englishwoman was killed.
Oh? Only the day before?
That will do. I'm satisfied that the counsel for the defense is sufficiently capable of representing the defendant.
Oh. Thank you, Your Excellency. Over the first hurdle.
Now, a summary of the incident, if you please. Prosecutor Ouchie.
Yes, as your wish, Your Excellency. The repugnant crime took place on the 11th of August in broad daylight. On the outskirts of the imperial capital, under a bright blue sky, at a secluded bathing spot by the sea. The incident occurred inside a small beach hut erected for bathers to rest or change their clothes. The cause of death was a single stab wound to the posterior abdomen that pierced the victim's lung, an injury which proved fatal. There were two persons alone together in the beach hut at the time of the victim's death, Miss Brad in her bathing attire, and the accused Ray Membami. Accordingly, there can be no doubt of the accused's guilt, especially when we consider she had a powerful motive. And the police arrived rapidly at the scene and promptly arrested the young lady.
She has a motive?
Well, that extraordinary description of events leaves me somewhat lost for words, I must say.
That's certainly true. The prosecution summary was full of words that raise an awful lot of questions. As a lawyer, I really ought to pick up the prosecution counsel on what he said about a powerful motive.
Oh, beer alone together?
No, the motive. You're clearly exaggerating. Powerful motive is a blatant overstatement.
Tut, is the yokel boy using long words he doesn't fully understand?
I beg your pardon?
No matter, let us put this to the accused, shall we? Membami-san, you are a research assistant at the Imperial Yume University, I believe.
Yes, I am. I'm working with Professor Mikotoba in his laboratory at the moment.
I can confirm that the defendant is an excellent assistant with a strong sense of responsibility.
Fascinating to hear. Now another question. Prior to your work with Professor Mikotoba, whose research you were assisting then?
I was studying under Dr. John H. Wilson.
Dr. Wilson? A visiting English professor who was murdered by Miss Brad 9 months ago.
The accused had a deep-seated respect for her former lover. Sorry!
Oops, Freudian slip.
For her former mentor, Dr. Wilson. Is that not true?
Yes, Dr. Wilson was a wonderful man.
Interesting. And tell the court what deep-seated feelings you had towards the Englishwoman who killed him.
Well, obviously I was filled with hatred for what she'd done, a powerful hatred.
Oh god, don't admit to that.
Oh no, Ray, be careful of what you're saying.
The motive was revenge, plain and simple, Your Excellency.
Well, it was clearly a trap all along.
How wicked of him to use Ray's undying respect for her former mentor against her. I must find out more details and something we can use to bolster our defense. As a lawyer, I really ought to pick up the prosecution's counsel on what he said about... Oh, I can... Okay. Being alone together. Membami-san? Yes, what is it, sister? I mean, Naruhodo-san? I'm really starting to wish we'd make my alias Ryutaro Sato. Please tell the court why exactly you were present at a bathing spot with the victim in the first place, and why you were alone with her. Oh, well, no, that's not true. It wasn't like that at all. There were other people present, a detective who was guarding Miss Brett for starters. I was just asked to accompany Miss Brett as a companion, that's all.
But let us be clear. At the moment of her death, you were alone together with the victim in the hut, you and no one else. The truth is, there is only one reason why this young woman accompanied Miss Brett on her bathing sojourn. It was the accused's last chance to take the victim's life.
What? No.
Because, as we know, the following day would see Miss Brett extradited to the British authorities in Shanghai. And the accused would never have an opportunity to dispatch her again.
Kindly refrain from conjecture, counsel.
The prosecuting counsel seems to enjoy using provocative tricks like that, but for now at least we need to assemble more facts. Try not to let him goad you.
Oh dear, this is really terrifying. But Father's right, we need more information.
Okay. What about the bathing spot?
If I may, Prosecutor Ouchie?
What do you want, you fresh-faced young yokel student?
I wonder, could you explain, please? You mentioned a bathing spot.
My apologies. Clearly my modernity has confused the poor country bumpkin's simple mind. Bathing spots are the very latest trend in health practices from the West. We are told that bathing in the water of the ocean is curative, therapeutic, and excellent for the skin.
But I thought Japan had onsen? Why would you bathe in the ocean? No, that's not what I meant. I was referring to the fact that Miss Brett had, to all intents and purposes, been found guilty of murder. Why would a known criminal have been relaxing by the sea?
And for old time's sake, I believe.
Sorry?
Miss Brett was to depart for Shanghai the following day. Her final wish, as it were, was to enjoy a day at our country's wonderful coast. And the British Embassy put extreme pressure on our government to comply.
But on what grounds would we agree to such a request?
Because, as usual, our government is unable to stand up to foreign powers. In matters of diplomacy, it seems we don't even have the courage to decline the whims of a known criminal.
Don't look at me, Professor. It was the government who granted permission, not I. In any case, it was decided that with a dedicated detective on duty, nothing could go wrong.
Let me guess, the detective is... what's his name? The sailor/waiter from the first game? But in fact, a murder took place.
I said, don't look at me. It was that young student girl who did it, not I.
No one has proved that yet.
I wouldn't provoke the man if you don't need to. I believe we all have a clear picture of the incident now. Despite her guilt being determined 9 months ago, Miss Brett managed to avoid incarceration, instead continuing her research work at the university. Obviously, over that period, she and Ray would have encountered each other on a number of occasions.
Seeing the murderer of the mentor for whom she had such great respect enjoying such undeserved liberty.
Yes, even if it was only temporary until Miss Brett's extradition to Shanghai. You can't hardly blame Ray for her feelings of anger and resentment.
Poor Ray.
So, Your Excellency, if you'd be so kind as to peruse this exhibit. A photographic print that shows the scene of the crime immediately following the grim incident.
Yes, thank you, Counsel. A tragic image.
As you can clearly see, there's nowhere within the hut that anyone else could have hidden.
The court will accept this photographic print as evidence. As I understood it then, the victim and the defendant were alone? Inside a beach hut?
There's her mask. She had a suitcase with more masks? Okay, that's not weird at all. A shoe. And what is that? A brush, a comb. A brush. Why is there a wine glass? And what seems like spilled wine? And she's clutching a pen very tightly. The swan also died. Really not sure if it is a real swan or not. Oh, there's a wine bottle. But nothing spilled over. Huh. There's her dress and her bag. These are feathers of the swan, I guess. Yeah, it doesn't look too good for her, huh? I mean, she's dead. Yeah.
This is deeply troubling, I must say. The finger of guilt points firmly at the defendant.
Well, Your Excellency, naturally the prosecution has much more to its case. We intend to prove the accused's appalling actions beyond all possible contention. To that end, I can confirm that we have multiple witnesses to the crime and damning evidence.
Witnesses? I thought they were the only two, so... Where were the witnesses? Witnesses? But who?
One of whom, I might add, is a highly respected police detective. I assure you, the testimony of these witnesses will leave no room for doubt.
Very well then, counsel. Bring forth your witnesses.
I, Takatsuchi Aoshi, have been waiting for this moment.
Sorry?
Oh yes, I haven't forgotten that trial 9 months ago here in this very courthouse, when that irreverent little student boy utterly humiliated me. Ryunosuke Naruhodo!
What? Yes?
This insult to the Aoshi family name will never be forgotten.
You've become conceited with age, counsel, but the old have to stand aside and make way for the new. Dance with... Oh my god, Kazuma, why did you do it? It's the way of the world, may you never forget that. This humiliation! I completely understand Aoshi. I mean, that was simply too much.
Strike the head of a samurai whose top knot had been cut and the bell of cultural enlightenment tolls. Yes, on that fateful day, my former self died.
The start of your own mini-Meiji revolution. Are you modernizing as well, counsel?
Silence! Since I swore revenge back then, there has been a minor miracle atop my head. Observe the Aoshi growth. You see the seed of hope sprouting forth from the barren expanse of my crown?
I think the tiny growth is trying to tell me something. I'm afraid I can't really see. Where is the hope exactly? Oh, Ray, don't pour oil into the fire.
I said silence! Today I face another Yoka student of the Naruhodo clan. Well, I will vanquish you!
Why did you have to make me a Naruhodo, father?
And my victory will be fertilizer for the seed of hope atop my head. You have been warned. And with that, the prosecution calls the witness to the stand. The witnesses.
It looks like the stakes are high on both sides in this trial. The prosecution and defense each has much to lose.
A haircut is hardly comparable to Ray's life. Oh my god. Soseki? Natsume?
Witnesses, please state your names and occupations for the court.
Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga, Imperial Police Bureau. I'm in disguise, obviously, so I can go undetected. But there's no reason to be in disguise in court. What's on top of your head? A turtle? I can't really tell.
And I am, well, the next big thing in books, and also renowned throughout the capital, in fact, yes.
The satirical crime cat is a success by Soseki Natsume. I am a cat? Oh my goodness.
Struggling student from the provinces, please. You needn't be in awe of me.
I needn't?
It's only natural that you feel so nervous in my presence, but all of you, please relax. Call me Soseki, even.
Yes. What on earth is Soseki-san doing here?
Tread carefully, Mr. Sato. That author fellow knows you from your time in London, doesn't he? If he exposes you for who you really are, this will be over before it's begun.
Yes, of course, I know. I presume Soseki-san won't have forgotten about me. I could certainly never forget him. Although he does seem to have changed somewhat in the 6 months or so that it's been since I last saw him. And as for Inspector Hosonaga, that amazing outfit is hard to believe. Do I have something on my face? Well, your glasses for one, although they don't seem to be helping you see. Ouch. Thank goodness he hasn't recognized me either. I suppose it's this disguise, is it? I thought that appearing here in the clothes I was wearing at the time would make for a more faithful testimony. It is my guiding principle to carry out all testimonies flawlessly.
Well, I can appreciate why an Imperial Police Bureau detective might have been present, but what business did a writer such as yourself have being at the scene, Soseki-san? Well, you see, I had been asked that day to give a lecture on the morning of the incident in the Imperial Yume University Grand Lecture Hall, no less.
At Yume University?
After the lecture, I had a very pleasant conversation with a researcher from the medical science department. The professor over there, in fact.
With my father? I mean, with Professor Mikotopa?
Yes, that's right. It was arranged by one of the newspapers. They wanted some story or other about 2 former students who studied in Great Britain. Of course, being a renowned author, the press never leave me alone. They secretly spy, snapshots, scribble stories, and scupper my privacy! As you can see, the conversation was written up in this newspaper here. Read it at your leisure, my provincial, struggling student friend. I have plenty of copies.
Thank you very much. He practically threw that paper at me. Okay, there was a debate.
Anyway, following my interviews with the professor, the lady in question appeared and made a very unexpected announcement.
Okay, hold on. They look like they're having fun. Returning... I have no idea what this kanji is. Fast Nen? Big language child? What? I have no idea. Okay, but hey, that's Wakahai's kitten, right? One of its kitten, I guess. Why is this even relevant? Why did you give it to me? Why is this in my court record?